Hello, welcome to Moonlit Justice Oracle. I'm here to do a reading for Gemini. This reading will involve the Gemini collective and someone that you are connected to, preferably a high vibrational connection of some sort. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything you do in support of this channel. I appreciate you. You may find that you resonate with this side. That's what I intend. But as this is a collective reading, chances are some of you will resonate with the person on this side. Just take what resonates for you and don't force it if it doesn't fit. All right. First up, we're going to look at the current energy, recent past energy, and most likely potential near future energy in this connection. All right. May I have one card, please, representing the current energy of this connection for Gemini? One card representing the current energy of this connection for Gemini. Third eye chakra, and then love begins. The current energy of this connection is there's a lot of using one's intuition. Maybe both parties in this connection are using their intuition or intuitively feeling one another with the Ace of Cups. Love begins. One or both parties could be intuitively feeling that there's going to be a new start in an emotionally fulfilling way. May I have a card representing the recent past in this connection? Trapped in fear. So one or both people might have been trapped in fear. This is the Eight of Swords card in traditional tarot, and that represents having a limited perspective of a situation or feeling trapped in a sense, trapped in fear. Maybe one or both people here have been at one point stuck in their head about the connection or afraid in some way, and they've learned to trust their intuition, trust the way they feel, allowing the heart to feel what it wants to feel without fears getting in the way. All right, may we have one card representing the most likely future energy in this connection? Most likely near future energy. We got a couple: victory and success and disruption, the Tower. There might be a sudden victory or sudden unexpected success in this connection. I'm not going to take them both. May I have one card representing the most likely near future in this connection? One card representing the most likely near future. Most likely near future in this connection for Gemini. Light, the Sun. This card's been coming out a lot for these collective love readings. To me, this represents clarity, happiness, growth, life, happiness. I don't know if I already said that. Okay. So it looks like in the past, one or both people have been stuck in their heads in some way, trapped in fear. They've had a limited perspective. Current energy, third eye chakra, love begins. That's beautiful energy. That's a feeling of, let me read my cheat sheet for third eye chakra. I know it has to do with intuition and things like that, but I know there's a lot more to it. Here we go. It represents intuition, foresight, and is driven by openness and imagination. Interesting. Imbalanced attributes would be lack of direction and lack of clarity. That's what I'm getting with this Trapped in Fear Eight of Swords card. This is a card of lack of clarity. So currently within this connection, one or both people are following their intuition or feeling intuitively led towards this connection, towards this emotionally fulfilling start. Foresight, maybe there's some kind of foresight. Driven by openness and imagination. Maybe in the past, one or both people were not feeling open to this connection in some way, but they are now or starting to feel open to it now. And in the near future, the most likely near future energy is light. That's a lot of happiness, of clarity. All right, may I have one card representing the Gemini Collective's energy within this connection. One card for the Gemini Collective's energy in this connection. Wisdom. You are currently in a very wise energy. You've learned lessons. I'm being drawn to the sun in the back of this card, in the background of this card. Maybe you've gained clarity recently. Alright, may I have a card representing this other person's current energy in the connection? One card representing this other person's energy. Rejoice in celebration. This is all about celebrating growth within a connection or relationship. It's about getting together, rejoicing in celebration with one another. So coming together in some way. Alright, Gemini. What else we got here? Collective's feelings towards this other person. May I have a card representing the Gemini Collective's feelings towards this other person? One card representing the Gemini Collective's feelings. Financial and material changes. This is the Five of Pentacles. You feel left out in some way, or a lack. There's some kind of feeling of lack towards this other person, regarding this other person. May I have a card representing this other person's feelings towards the Gemini Collective? One card for this other person's feelings towards throat chakra. They might feel like they want to communicate, to speak up about something. Throat chakra. It represents the ability to speak and communicate clearly and effectively. Imbalanced attributes would be shyness, being withdrawn, arrogance, and increased anxiety. I don't know, I'm focusing on the being withdrawn for the past. In the past, did this person withdraw in some way? Or do they feel like in the past the Gemini Collective was withdrawn? Your feelings towards this person, Five of Pentacles. Left out, lack. Alright. May I have one card representing how the Gemini Collective sees this connection? How does the Gemini Collective see this connection? Base chakra. This is all about stability, security. Base chakra. Provides the foundation on which we build our life, representing safety, security, and stability. Safety, security, and stability. So you see this connection as secure, stable in some way? Or it has the potential to be secure and stable? How does this Gemini Collective see themselves within this connection? Wow. Patience and planning. This is the Seven of Pentacles. You see yourself as being patient. Patience and planning. Is this a connection that you've been planning for in some way or making plans regarding? It's required patience. You're seeing yourself as patient in this connection. All right. May I have a card representing how this other person sees the connection? How does this other person connected to Gemini see this connection? How do they see the connection? It's a few. Temptation, the devil, and balance, justice. We have one card representing how this other person sees this connection with Gemini. One card for how this person sees passion ignited. They see it as something that has a lot of potential. They are very passionate. They see this connection as having a lot of passion within it. both of you are passionate about one another. Or they find that it's exciting. It's an exciting connection. It's interesting. There's mirroring here so far. There's 5 and 5 for your feelings towards one another, and then 1 and 1 for how you see the connection. May have one card for how this person sees themselves within the connection. How is this person seeing themselves in this connection? Solitude, the Hermit. This person sees themselves as keeping to their self, as going within, seeking solitude to find their own truth, self-reflect. So maybe that would explain why the Gemini collective feels like the 5 of Pentacles towards this person. I'm not sure if this person withdrew in some way to seek solitude. Interesting though, because their current energy within this connection is rejoice and celebration. It's about coming together, possibly after I almost said a fear. Maybe this person had a fear of this connection in some way. It's like after a period of seeking solitude, this person's energy is now in a coming together kind of energy. They see this connection as exciting, passionate. And their feelings towards the Gemini collective are throat chakra. They might want to speak up now after having their solitude. Alright, what else do we got? We have one card representing the Gemini collective's hopes regarding this connection. One card representing the Gemini collective's hopes, sacral chakra. This is all about the expression of sexual creative energy. You're hoping to creatively express yourself. It's like a release of this like passionate energy in some way. We have a card representing the Gemini collective's fears regarding this connection. Their fears regarding this connection. One card representing the Gemini collective's fears regarding this connection. Partnerships and alliances and stand your ground. Interesting. Could be something here about having to set boundaries with others in some way. Or fearing some kind of stubbornness regarding this partnership alliance. We have one card representing the Gemini collective's fears. Spiritual strength. This is the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands represents someone who, they've been through a lot. They're still standing regardless of what they've been through. They're resilient. But they've got a wall built up around them in a sense. It's like because of what they've been through, they're kind of always prepared for something else to come their way that they're going to have to survive through, or, something like that. Spiritual strength. Interesting. We have a card representing this other person's hopes regarding this connection. A card representing this other person's hopes. Balance. This is justice. This is about truth. Doing what's right. Fairness. Equality. Maybe there's something here about this hope. This person is hoping for something mutual in some way with equality. We have a card representing this person's fears regarding this connection. This person's fears, obstacles and challenges. They might be afraid that there's competition in some way. If this is like a romantic relationship of sorts. They might fear that there will be obstacles and challenges when it comes to possibly coming together in some way. They're afraid of drama. Gemini Collective, are you afraid of getting hurt by this person? Sometimes I see the Nine of Wands as someone who's been hurt. They've been through hurt, but they're still standing. They're not giving up because of that, All right, let's see. Last cards before we clarify this. We have one card representing the Gemini Collective's intentions towards this other person. One card for the Gemini Collective's intentions. Rest and rejuvenate. This is the Four of Swords. It's pretty much what it says. Rest and rejuvenate. Your intentions are to focus on yourself, focus on your health in various ways. Mental, spiritual, physical health, emotional health. So it doesn't seem like you have any intentions towards this person. Like, you don't intend to take action towards this person. May I have a card representing this person's intentions towards the Gemini Collective? This person's intentions towards the Gemini Collective. One card, please, for their intentions towards the Gemini Collective. Truth. Truth. Judgment. Interesting. Is their intention involving resurrecting something in some way, or making an official decision with, trapped in fear, Eight of Swords, not having clarity. Third eye chakra, love begins, current energy, meaning one or both people are focusing on their intuition, following their intuition when it comes to this new beginning in love. Near future, light, clarity. Okay, let's clarify patience. Again, with patience. There's something about this connection that has required a significant amount of patience, is what I'm getting. Alright, actually I'm going to use a different deck. This deck is going to be used to clarify your side, this person's side. This deck over here, I'd like to use to clarify the past, present, and potential near future energies. I like to give cards the chance to come up again if they want to. That's why I use different decks, to clarify different sections here. Alright, let's just go past the present, or past to potential near future. Why is trapped in fear here? The Eight of Swords for the recent past energy of this connection. Trapped in fear. Trapped in fear. The Emperor. This is a highly evolved masculine energy, regardless of gender. Emperor. Trapped in fear. Is this someone who, it's like not knowing how to take the lead, or not being sure about how to take control of one's fears, anxieties regarding this connection? The Emperor with trapped in fear for the recent past energy. Eight of Cups. Did someone walk away in the past? Eight of Cups represents someone leaving behind what is not emotionally fulfilling. They're looking for more. Trapped in fear. Maybe in the past, one or both people decided to, maybe not decided, the fears got the better of them in some way, and they just kind of left the situation behind, or whatever was going on in the past regarding this connection. It was because someone was trapped in fear and not knowing how to let that go. Maybe these fears were from past situations that didn't go well for someone or both people. maybe in the recent past, someone with the Emperor, someone learned to take charge, gain control over their fears, it's like leaving past baggage behind them. Five of Swords, Knight of Wands. Someone might have struggled with pursuing their passions, pursuing their desires, going after what excited them. Alright, why is third eye chakra for the current energy in this connection? Third eye chakra, the World. I see the World as endings, beginnings, accomplishments, the Sun, growth. It's like leveling up in some way. Yeah, maybe someone's conquered their fears. One or both people have conquered their fears in the recent past. And they've gotten to a point where they trust their intuition. They trust what they feel. It's like a new chapter. It's like this person is done with the way they did things in the past. And the current energy of this connection. People are done with how they've done things in the past, possibly as a result of being afraid or not being able to see everything clearly. And now this connection is ready for a new chapter in some way. The World, third eye chakra. The Nine of Wands again, yeah. It's like ending the struggle and learning to follow one's intuition. Maybe in the past, one or both people struggled with following their intuition, recognizing when they're being intuitively led. Why is love begins, Ace of Cups here for the current energy of this connection? The Star, this is about healing, hopes. The Star with love begins. Why is the Star here with love begins, Ace of Cups? The Devil. Yeah, this is healing from healing toxicities, learning to unbound oneself from things that are not beneficial, things that could be considered toxic, limiting, confining. I mean, to me, the Devil often represents fears. Because fear is something that has us feeling stuck, or like we can't do things. That's just what we tell ourselves. You know, we allow fear to dictate what we tell ourselves we can and cannot do, right? Why is light here, the Sun, for the most likely potential near future of this connection? Light, the Sun, for the most likely potential near future. Light. Six of Swords. Yeah, this is getting out of conflict. Specifically to me, this card represents getting to a calmer mental state. There could be clarity in the near future that allows, and this is two people in a boat. This could allow the energy to become more positive in the near future, calmer. Six of Swords with light for the most likely near future energy. Six of Swords with light. Seven of Cups. Moving past any kind of confusion. Yeah, there's something here about getting clarity. Clarity. You know, when there's uncertainty, when there's confusion, illusion surrounding anything, sometimes it can be really easy to allow our fears to kind of paint pictures of the situation in some way. Okay. Let's clarify your side. Why is Wisdom here for the Gemini Collective's energy in this connection? Wisdom, the Gemini Collective's current energy. Wisdom. Seven of Cups. Again, the Seven of Cups. Wisdom. Making a wise decision. Wisdom. Seven of Cups with Wisdom for the Gemini's current energy. The Moon, Knight of Pentacles. There's been wisdom gained, or wisdom is being gained regarding any kind of like uncertainty. This could be about someone's loyalty, reliability. This Knight of Pentacles moves very slowly, and they do so to ensure that wherever they're going to get there safely. This pentacle will be safe. This opportunity will be solid. The Moon also, to me, represents intuition, like the subconscious. Someone, the Gemini Collective, or those who resonate here, might have learned how to ground themselves, or that's the current energy, learning how to ground oneself when feeling overwhelmed or confused. And this is because of wisdom gained. The Emperor, taking charge, gaining control. Alright. Let's look at your feelings towards this other person, being the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles for the Gemini Collective's feelings towards this other person. King of Pentacles, Six of Swords. You might have felt, or you might feel like this person's moved on in a way, or they chose to focus more on their career or finances. Why the Six of Swords with the King of Pentacles? Magician. I'm getting like a sense of abandonment in some way. Like feeling, I don't know if this person chose other things aside from this connection at some point, or yeah, they chose to focus on what they can create, like financially and career, things like that. They chose to focus on their Pentacle Kingdom. Why is base chakra here for how the Gemini Collective sees the connection? Base chakra, Ten of Wands. Base chakra is all about stability, security, right? Ten of Wands. It takes a lot to keep this connection stable in some way, or that's how you felt in the past. Ten of Wands. Four of Cups. I'm kind of getting like a sense of feeling like it's all on you, or like you've been carrying the weight to maintain stability in this connection in some way. Or it's burdensome. There's some kind of burdensome energy to this connection. Or I don't know if you feel like this other person has not been interested in creating some kind of safety, security, stability in this connection, and you feel burdened by this, or like it's all on you. Patience and planning for how you see yourself in this connection. Patience and planning for how you see yourself in this connection. Nine of Pentacles. You've just been focusing on yourself. Yeah, I'm getting a very like independent energy within this connection. Whether that's because you've felt kind of alone in this connection in some way. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, because the Nine of Pentacles is someone who is self-reliant. They have their own life. They've created their own abundance. You've been patiently creating your own stability and abundance in this connection. Nine of Pentacles. I'm wondering, is this a connection that just never got off the ground in some way? Nine of Pentacles, patience and planning. Knight of Cups. It's about self-love. Keeping your feelings to yourself in some way, being patient. Being patient, that if you just focus on yourself and your own well-being, that love will find you. Okay. Let's go to this other person for a little bit. Why is rejoice and celebration here for this other person's current energy? Rejoice and celebration. Three of Pentacles, Empress. This is working together to grow or expand this connection. I was saying before with the Three of Cups, to me that represents growth in an already existing connection or relationship. This person is in the energy of wanting to collaborate, wanting to help build some kind of growth or expansion in this connection. Why the Three of Pentacles with the Three of Cups? The Devil, Wheel of Fortune. This is about leaving the devil behind and focusing on positive movement forward. Maybe they felt stuck for a period of time. Empress with rejoice and celebration. Queen of Pentacles. Someone might be focusing on the future, and like they might have been reflecting with the solitude energy as how they see themselves in the connection. They might have been focusing on what they want in the long term, whether that's in their life, with a partner. And I think that they recognize the Gemini collective, the person on this side, they recognize that person as the type of person or possessing the qualities of someone they would like to have in their life due to the mutual shared ability to build, to grow, to nurture. There's been a limited perspective here. There's been a limited perspective in the past about each other or about one or the other person. But their current energy is rejoice and celebration. They want to get together. They want to collaborate, move past the stuck energy. Alright, why is a throat chakra for how this other person feels towards the Gemini collective? Throat chakra, Nine of Wands. They've been having a hard time speaking up. This Nine of Wands is also in your fears for this connection, or this person's fears. I don't know if so far this connection has felt like a struggle in some way, or like it's always hard times. This person might feel like speaking up about that, or they want to talk about that. Or this person is just having a hard time, or they've had a hard time figuring out how to communicate. Nine of Wands with throat chakra. The Chariot. Yeah, this is overcoming these obstacles, finding the willpower, having the confidence to communicate. This is reminding me of another one, maybe Taurus, the Taurus reading. There is Taurus energy in here for how you feel towards this other person with the King of Pentacles. That could be significant. I'm not a fan of talking about signs that show up, or astrological signs, but every once in a while I'll be like, they'll speak to me in a way, so I feel I should mention it. They feel like they want to communicate about some kind of hard times, and they're trying to balance the light and dark within, They're trying to find the willpower to overcome these obstacles. Or this is what they want to talk about. This is how they're feeling. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's been some kind of, someone was left out in the cold in some way. There's been some kind of lack in this connection. Alright, passion ignited for how they see this connection. Passion ignited. The Tower. It's a sudden excitement. The Tower with passion ignited. The Tower. 8 of Swords. Yeah, there's something, I don't know if they got sudden clarity of some kind, and this has led them to feeling excited or passionate in some way. Or like something happened to ignite a spark that like busted this person out of this self-imposed prison, basically. How they see the connection. Yeah, maybe in the past they've had a limited perspective of this connection, but something's happened, possibly suddenly or surprisingly, that has them feeling passionate. They could not see this before, or they had a limited perspective. They realize they have a limited perspective of this connection. Why the 8 of Swords, Tower? Ace of Cups, yeah. Maybe they've been, maybe they couldn't recognize how they felt in some way. This might, Queen of Swords. What was I about to say? Might have been because of fear. Fear was like preventing someone from feeling how they truly felt in some way. Solitude for how they see themselves in this connection. Solitude. Solitude. 5 of Swords. Going within and focusing on understanding this inner mental conflict. 5 of Swords with solitude. 5 of Swords with solitude. Star. Healing. Healing themselves. Or they see themselves as being inspired to go within, to keep to themselves, to soul search, to understand this conflict, this negativity in some way. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Alright, why is Sacral Chakra here for the Gemini Collective's hopes regarding this connection? Sacral Chakra for the Gemini Collective's hopes. Sacral Chakra, the Hermit. The Hermit again. How this person sees themselves in the connection. Your hopes. Hermit, Sacral Chakra. The Hermit, Sacral Chakra. Maybe this is about, yeah, I think that the Gemini Collective is hoping to finally be able to release or express this creative, passionate energy that they've been keeping within, keeping to themselves. The Hermit with Sacral Chakra? Yeah, the High Priestess. There's secret desires here. Hoping to unleash, unrestrain one's hidden desires. Perhaps you have a lot of passionate energy towards this person that you haven't been able to express. Why is spiritual strength the 9 of Wands for the Gemini Collective's fears regarding this connection? 10 of Swords, 9 of Cups. I'm interested to know if the person who resonates on this side, the Gemini Collective, if you have perceived this person as like selfish or only after their own satisfaction in some way. This might be part of your fear. Maybe your fear is that they will continue to be selfish or focused on their own happiness, like not caring about how other people feel in some way. Or you might be afraid that, oh man, this is like sacrificing one's own happiness because of a struggle in some way. Or like not getting what you want, not getting what you find emotionally fulfilling or emotionally desirable in some way. All right. May I have a card, or can we clarify rest and rejuvenate for the Gemini collective's intentions towards this person? Rest and rejuvenate. The World. It's like you continue, I don't know if you've been in this energy of just focusing on yourself, focusing on your own health. And this is something that you just plan on continuing until there's some kind of change or something. Why is the World here with rest and rejuvenate for the Gemini collective's intentions? Page of Wands. This is about just focusing on what interests you, or you are interested in starting something new, starting a new chapter. But in the meanwhile, your intention is to just focus on resting, rejuvenating yourself. Are you waiting for a message, waiting for good news of some kind? Why the Page of Wands, World, rest? Three of Cups, yeah. It's like you're interested in coming together with this person, but you don't have intentions towards them. Like you don't intend to take action towards them, but you are interested, or you could be interested in coming together with them. Okay. Let's look at this other person's hopes, balance, justice. Four of Swords. Why the Four of Swords with balance for this person's hopes? Nine of Cups. This person, there's definitely an energy of going within and focusing on what someone wants. Like figuring out what they want. What would make them happy. I think this person is hoping to regain balance within themselves, or find some kind of balance within themselves for their own emotional well-being. It's about reflecting, healing, emotional healing. Maybe they're hoping that this connection can be emotionally healed. Why the Four of Swords, Nine of Cups, Page of Cups? Thinking about what to present with the throat chakra as their feelings towards you. I think that they want to communicate something with you. They want to communicate something with you. I think that they're hoping for the truth, or expressing the truth in some way, will expressing how they feel, that this brings some kind of healing, balance to the connection. Obstacles and challenges for their fears. Obstacles and challenges. Four of Wands. Obstacles and challenges when it comes to coming together, to celebrating what's been created between the both of you. Four of Cups. Four of Wands with obstacles and challenges for this person's fears regarding the connection with the Gemini collective. Four of Wands, obstacles, challenges. Knight of Wands. Are they afraid that you're not interested in them? Or afraid it's like I'm getting kind of the sense that they're afraid of what your reaction will be to them taking passionate action towards you in some way. Why the Knight of Wands, Four of Wands? Judgment. Are they afraid that they're going to be judged or afraid of what a final decision will be? For their intentions, judgment, truth. Why is truth, judgment here for this person's intentions towards Gemini? The Sun. This is the near future. The most likely near future energy of this connection is the Sun. Their intentions are truth and the Sun. Their intentions are to bring clarity or to gain some kind of clarity. Why the Sun with truth? Yeah, Seven of Cups. There's been some kind of confusion or illusion here. They intend, I believe, to bring clarity into this connection. All right, let's get some guidance advice for both sides. The High Priestess was left behind here. Archangel Haniel, powerful psychic insights, reflection and meditation that provides valuable information. Be at peace. Peace. I forgot, sometimes I see the Four of Swords as being peaceful. That's also your intentions towards this person. Be at peace. All right, let's get, may I have a card for the Gemini Collective's guidance, advice regarding this connection? Protected by angels. You are cherished by the angels. So do know, whatever's going on, you are cherished and protected by angels. Why is protected by angels here? Wise leader. You are a beacon for others. Wow. Do you bring light or clarity to others in some way? Or do you lead in some way? You are a beacon for others. You are a beacon for others. Freya, phases and cycles. There's a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. Absolutely. So whatever you've been doing, you have been highly protected and you're a beacon for others. So there's something that you've been doing that places you in a leadership position of some kind, whether that's in general in the world or in this connection even. You're holding the light to help guide others in some way. There's a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. Interesting. Illusions are revealed and released. Yeah, there's definitely, in the near future, most likely potential near future, there's clarity coming in regarding this connection. Why is there's a beginning with every ending? Faraway places, get ready for new horizons. Interesting. There's a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. Get ready for new horizons. Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely getting with wise leader. It's like you're doing something. Whether that's in this physical world or energetically. Something about what you've been doing. And you're helping lead others. You're helping others follow your light. Alright, what's this other person's advice, guidance? Divine order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. Why is do what you feel is right? An important lesson is unfolding here for this other person. There's too many, but I'll read them. Sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. Someone's name could be Diana. Okay. Hi, can you scoot? Why is do what you feel is right, an important lesson is unfolding for this other person's guidance? Great adventure. Take a risk. Venture forward. Absolutely. I think there's something here about fears have been overcome in the past in some way, whether that's both people, one person. There's something here about needing to find the faith, the willpower to take a risk on this person's end here and venture forward. Venture forward. Take a risk. Venture forward. Breaking trail. A breakthrough is at hand. Yeah. There's going to be clarity, a new perspective for this person. They're going to experience a breakthrough. Why is a breakthrough is at hand? The Holy Spirit, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Absolutely. So whatever's going on here, this is a very collected. This is a very protected connection for both parties, for everyone who resonates with this message. Okay. If this resonated, I hope that it was beneficial and provided some kind of clarity. Until next time, bye.